let's talk about that feeling of being underconfident. If you've ever felt it, you're definitely not alone. But the reason you feel that way, it's probably not what you think. We're about to tear down a huge illusion that a lot of us have about the world. Okay, so the first thing you have to get your head around is this. The world that you've built up in your mind, the one that makes you feel small, yeah, that world probably isn't real. You've basically created this mental movie where everyone else is some kind of invincible hero, and you're just kind of pointless. You feel disrespected. Well, today we are going to completely smash that entire imaginary world to pieces. All right, so let's dive into this imaginary world you've cooked up. What's really going on in there when you start feeling like you're not good enough? The source material puts it perfectly. It's like you see yourself as this sensitive Romeo character, stuck in a world that's just jam-packed with these invincible Tismar Khans, these big shots who seem to have everything figured out. And that feeling that you're playing a completely different, smaller game than everyone else, that's the heart of the problem. So where does this whole warped perception even come from? Well, let's compare it to reality, starting with the biggest factory of fake perceptions there is, the internet. You scroll online and you start to think, wow, everyone on here is a genius. They're all so smart. But what's the reality? Seriously, just go look at any comment section. What will you find? Thousands of people pouring all their energy into these furious arguments over who would win in a fight, Gojo or Sukuna. I mean, that's where all that brain power is really going. And this is a perfect example of what's called cognitive deficiency. It's basically a fancy term for when someone's mind is just totally bogged down with low-level, useless arguments. And here's the crazy part. These are the people you're afraid of being judged by. Okay, the online world is one thing, but what about a real-world test, like college? For a lot of people, this looms ahead like some kind of social nightmare they are just not prepared for. The fear is that you're going to step onto that campus and bam, you're going to be surrounded by these impossibly cool, confident chads who have perfect lives and just know how to talk to everyone. It's a really intimidating thought for sure. But the reality could not be more different. The truth is, for every 10 people you see, 9 of them are basically Patrick from SpongeBob. Just kind of wandering around, a little bit lost, feeling just as clueless as you might. There is no army of super confident people. Most folks are just trying to figure it out, just like you. In fact, the source puts a really shocking number on this. It claims that a staggering 99% of people are just fundamentally clueless about what they should be doing. Let that sink in for a second. 99%. And this is where everything changes, because that 99%, that's not you. So let's talk about what makes you so different and what your real strength actually is. So what is it? What separates you from that massive crowd? It's actually really simple. It's your awareness. The very fact that you're here, that you're engaging with an idea like self-improvement, that alone puts you in a completely different, much smaller category of people. This awareness you have, it's your secret weapon. You're already clued into things that most people totally ignore. You know you need to improve. You get the unwritten rules, that looks matter, that being a good communicator is like a superpower, that money's important. And crucially, you are actively trying to do something about it. That effort, that consciousness, is your edge. And here's the real kicker. The person who is truly clueless has no idea. In fact, they probably think they're the smartest person in the room. The fact that you question yourself sometimes, that's not a weakness. It's actually a sign of intelligence. It's where all growth begins. So when you get right down to it, this feeling of underconfidence, it really comes from a lack of self-respect. If we can build that up, the confidence just naturally follows. And there's a really simple way to do it. You build self-respect by doing small, real things. First, just start caring for yourself. Second, do a little bit of physical work every day. I'm talking 10, maybe 20 push-ups. That's it. Third, do one thing, no matter how tiny, that makes you feel productive. The respect it develops on its own. It's simple. You start to respect things that you take care of. And really, it all comes down to the feeling. When you do something productive, you get this tangible little hit of competence. It's a feeling of, hey, I did a thing. That feeling is the seed. Self-respect just grows out of it automatically. So this is the big takeaway. Your awareness is a strength.
Your drive to get better is what sets you apart. And that giant crowd of geniuses you've been so afraid of, it doesn't exist. So never, ever underestimate yourself.
So let's end this with a real question for you. Don't just absorb this, do something with it. What is the one small, simple step that you're going to take for your self-respect, starting today?